Hi guys, happy Wednesday. I decided to make a video dedicated to activating your core on your yoga mat. So this first clip is just a slight example of how to warm up your core before your flow. You're just going to circle around your whole entire pelvic floor and circle around all the way up through your thoracic spine into the cervical spine. And then we can go into our cat-cow position. And as you go into your cat-cow position, I want you to think about drawing your belly button in towards your spine in both poses, as if you're zipping up a really tight pair of jeans. So you're breathing in as you go into your cow and breathing out as you go into your cat, pressing the earth away from you in your cat. So here we go, we're going to go into a few crunches here. I really like these. It's a variation of our sunbird or side plank. So you can bring your elbow in towards your knee and crunch, breathing out. So inhale, reach, breathe out, crunch. Inhale, reach, and breathe out, crunch. You can do this a few times on each side. I like my favorite number 8, in between repetitions, and I do about 3 to 4 sets of these. Now going to go in between our downward dog and our high plank. As we go into high plank, I really want you to round that upper spine. This is really going to help us activate our core and drawing that belly button in towards the spine, zipping up that really tight pair of pants, and just go in between these a few times, however you like, and play around with it. You can go as fast as you like, hold the high plank as long as you like, just play around with it. We're now going to go into our three-legged dog, and we're going to bring our knee in towards our chest, almost like we're trying to reach our forehead. And we're going to go in between this a few times, remembering to keep that upper back rounded, just like we had done in our high plank. We're really trying to get that knee right towards our forehead, thinking about that belly button to spine still. You can pretty much think of belly button to spine in almost any posture we do. Another one of my favorite core exercises is taking a nice slow walk to the top of my mat as if I'm trying to reach my toes to my wrists. We call these wrist taps. So you can do this nice and slow, lifting through the hips, really trying to get those feet off the ground and taking your time and remembering that belly button to spine. And as we come to the front of our mat, just rest in that forward fold, and then you can step or walk back. By the end of the summer. Shoulder stand is a really great way to build some core stability, especially when we're practicing for inversions. This is considered an inversion. So as you come out of your shoulder stand, try to bring your feet back behind your head, nice and slow. And then we're going to slowly bring the tailbone down towards the ground, only trying to use our core here, not depending on our hands. So you can do this a couple times, can rotate back into it and then slowly go down. However you like to do it, you can just play around with it, just practice going down slow because that will really build your core strength and stability. So for this next exercise, I apologize for the crop in the video, but this is our half moon pose, and just as we had done when we started this exercise, we were on the ground doing elbow to knee crunches, and this is exactly what we're doing in our half moon pose. We're inhaling up, reach, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, up, reach, and exhale. So this is really great for our stability in our leg and really great for our core work as well. A lot of focus here. You can do about 8 repetitions on each side, 3 or 4 times. However you're feeling today, just play around with it and see how far you can go. If half moon isn't something that you have advanced in your practice, just practice holding it and use blocks as needed and really try to lift through that hip joint and try not to sink down into that base leg. Also trying to get those hips nice and stacked right on top of each other, so the hips should not be facing the ground, they should be facing the wall next to you. Move into crow pose. Don't feel like you have to do this position if it's not in your practice. Otherwise, you can go ahead and join me. We're going to start to tap our toes down, keeping them an inch off of the ground so we're not actually tapping the floor. And I want you to think about that belly button to spine still. This is a really great way to advance in your arm balances, especially your crow pose. and any type of inversion because we are building that core strength in a much different way. Crow pose is new to you and you've just started practicing it, then you can go ahead and just rock back and forth into it, trying to hold it as long as you can. This is for those of you that can slightly float into headstand, or you are just starting to practice your headstand, so you can do this against a wall. And I want you guys to think about tapping one foot down at a time, just like we had done in our crow, and you can either touch the ground or keep it an inch off of the ground. So play around with it and really try to utilize your core, keeping that one leg straight up and one leg coming down. You can do this a couple times on each side. Really focus. We will now try coming down with both legs at the same time, so really keep the core engaged, sink the hips back for some counterbalance, tap the toes to the ground, and lift up. You can do this with a wall behind you just for safety if this is a little more intimidating for you. And then we're going to try both knees together, squeezing down, releasing the toes, bring the toes back towards the hips, and lift up.